Hey y'all, it's 3 o'clock on a rainy New Orleans day. We're starting to get today a little bit different. We are going to show you some vases that we have. And these are vases that are all on sale. And they're not posted on our site. So this is just a sale, Facebook Live sale. And what we're going to do is make it easy. Any one of these vases is $100. And to give you an idea of how large they are, the smallest one is this blue one over here. And this one is 10.5 inches tall. And the largest one is this blue one, and that's 12 inches tall. So everything is between 10.5 and 12 inches. $100 a piece. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just like some of them we're usually put iridescent coating on it. We did, and I forgot, or something done like that. Or they're testing colors. Just there's nothing wrong with them. They're just, like I say, they're kind of like orphans and they need a home. So buy now. No. And if you want one, all you do is just either call us or in your comments, just put if you wanted the one in the back row on the left or in the middle or on the right, just identify it some way and we'll pull that for you, and then we'll get in touch with you and make a transaction rather than putting them all up on the site, taking them all off the site, because these are all one of a kinds. So one more time, Darcy's going to pan all the way through. Again, any of these vases is $100, and that's what our special for today, for all this week, actually. So hi, welcome to Rosetree. I'm Mark. I own the studio along with my wife Brenda, and as you know, this is Facebook Live. Thanks for coming. And I also came to the conclusion today. We have done 40 some odd of these, and I'm really struggling onto getting a piece done within a certain time limit and coming up with a new piece or whatever. So what I'm going to do is just going to be loose, and if I have a piece to make for an order, I'll make it. If there's something in my brain I need to get out, I'll make it. But I'm not going to fret over jumping through huge hoops or whatever. Just consider it something that you walk into my studio while I'm working one day, and it might be something that you saw 3 weeks ago, but it's still kind of cool. Or it might be something unexpected and brand new. So that way it eases my brain a bit, and I hope you understand that. Today, we have an order for a heart bowl, a pink and white heart bowl. So that's what I'm going to do today. It'll be a 2-gather piece, 2 layers of color. 2 layers of clear, and the second layer will have the color on it. And we'll put it in an optic bulb. I'll explain how that's done. They get stripes and swirls and all that kind of stuff. As always, if you're on thumbs and hearts and everything, we love. If you're not following us, why are you here? Please follow us. We'd love to have more followers. We have a lot, and the more the merrier. The giggle behind the camera is Darcy, as always. If you have a question, Darcy will relay it to me while I'm working, and I'll try to answer that. Okay, hydration time. It's a little cooler today, but it was really hot this morning, so it's not crazy cool, but it's humid cool. It's humiding outside from the clouds, so we're getting a bunch of rain. It's our usual afternoon rain in the tropics here, so it's cooling things off, which I like, which is fine. So we're going to go over to the furnace and get our first gather and talk a little bit more. So follow me. This is a blowpipe, and if you're new, please let us know you're watching and say hello. We're a friendly group, and we have conversations and all that kind of stuff. This is a blowpipe. Blowpipe is this is stainless steel. Same type of methods that have been used with glass artists for over 2,000 years. My furnace, inside my furnace, is a crucible, which is a ceramic bowl. And ceramic bowl can hold up to 400 pounds of molten glass. Right now it's got about 200 pounds or so in it, so it's a little deep to get glass out. It's 2,050 degrees inside. This is my first layer of glass. Every layer is called a gather, because you're gathering the glass on the end of the pipe. And you'll see the glass is a liquid. If I stop moving, it'll start to drip. Keep moving all the time. So we go back over to my area. And for this, because the first layer is clear, I'll just roll it on this steel table, which is called a marver. And the marver will cool these down and help me shape it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow into the pipe and pull my finger over the end. And when the cold air from my breath hits the hot glass, it'll heat up and expand and blow out the bubble. But very closely, you will see there's coming right there. You see my bubble inside there. That's the inside of the piece. So we're going to let this cool down a little bit more so that we can get another layer on top.
So Christy does already have a question.
Okay, Christy, shoot.
She said, I see you pull the blowpipe out of a heated area. What happens if the pipe isn't hot?
If the pipe isn't hot, the glass will not stick to it. The glass won't stick to something that is cold. So that's why we heat the tips up of all the pipes and everything. That's why the glass doesn't stick to the tools we use, because the tools are cold. If I heated the tools up, the glass would stick. So we use that to our advantage. Yeah, that's called that is just called a pipe warmer, and we keep the pipes and punty rods in there to keep the end hot, so that we'll be able to gather glass on top. So I'm waiting for the glass to cool off. I'm looking right here at the end of the pipe. It's kind of red now. I'm letting that cool off to the regular pipe color, and that will tell me the glass is hard enough to support the next layer that goes on top. I hope y'all are having a good day. Like I said, it's cooled down a little bit here in New Orleans. A little gentle rain now. And actually it's one of those days where it's raining but the skies are blue. It's one of those crazy, it'll be one of those crazy kind of days. So you see it's lost a lot of the color. So I'm going to get one more gather on top and I'm going to fully coat it with the glass chips. So come on over. Two gathers on the end of my pipe, and we'll go back and put some of the chips on. So also, Christy, you're probably thinking, well, why are those little chips sticking to it? They're not hot. If the glass is a certain size, almost like the main gather of glass will heat up the chips and will stick on. If the chips get too much bigger than this, you'd have to heat them up. So chips this size will stick to the hot glass. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to heat the whole thing up in my reheating chamber, and now I'm going to take another, put a little bit more glass, a little bit more of the color on top. furnace is 2050. It is about 2150, 2200 degrees. This we keep on only when we're here. I'll turn this on in the morning. It takes about an hour and a half to reach temperature. And then when I turn it off, it's probably about the same to get cold. The furnace, however, we keep on 24/7. Question?
No, it was a message that you got.
The furnace we keep on 24/7 because if we turn it off, the glass will harden and it will be a mess to try and heat back up again.
Jimmy is saying, "Hey, Rosie."
Hey, Jimmy. Ask Jimmy what he makes for dinner. Jimmy always posts pictures of his fabulous things that he makes for dinner. All right, so I shaped it, and I'm going to put it in what's called an optic mold. So we don't use molds to make finish shapes, but we do use what's called optic mold to help decorative elements. So this optic mold down here, and it's an aluminum cone with ridges on the inside. And those ridges, when I press the glass into it, will create stripes and patterns on my gown. How it has ridges now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to compress those ridges, and where it is fatter from the peak of the ridge will give you actually the valleys is what give you the lines. So the valleys have compressed the glass, and I'll show you when I smooth it out. Always turning. If I stop turning, gravity will take over and it will trip. So I'm always turning. Sometimes turning opposite ways. With something like this, which has a spiral, I turn it with the spiral. I add more spiral to it. So I'm smoothing the whole thing out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the bottom and that spin a little bit more. So this gives me all the lines come to a point right at the bottom. So you see where the ridges were? Those are giving me my lines, where the valleys were. Now I'm going to heat this up and then start blowing it out. Also, if you all want to, if you're going to purchase a piece, we talked about, just walking in the studio and watching me work on these broadcasts, just like you would in a normal day. If you buy a piece and want me to make it on the Facebook Lives, let me know. Some pieces we can, some pieces we can't. Just time constriction and if I need an assistant to help me, that kind of thing. But I'll do my best to try and do it on the Facebook Live for you. Or if you're going to do one of our design your own vases, I will definitely do that on a Facebook Live. If you go to our website, instead of the blow your own, we have a non-contact design your own vase. So I'm going to blow into it again, just like I did before with the air trap. And you're going to see the glass towards the end of the pipe will start getting fatter. So you see right here, I'm starting to blow out. That's my bubble expanding. And I can control the rate that is blowing out by chilling an area on the marble, and that kind of lets the bubble blow to a different area. next step is going to be putting our jack line in. And what a jack line does is that's where I release it from the pipe and transfer it to another rod so that I can open the mouth of the piece off. So these are called jacks, and what I'm doing is I'm gently squeezing the jacks as I'm rolling the piece so that I'm cutting a groove in the top, and that's where the piece is going to release from the pipe. Up. I want the shoulder to blow out a little bit on this one. I'm puffing this out a little bit. And looking for a certain size, which is right about there. And just going to refine that shape a little bit. More blow. And then I'm going to flatten the bottom so that stand straight on the table. Alright, so I have a flat bottom, shape is done, right at size. So I'm going to get another rod, put a little bit of glass on the end of the rod, attach it to the bottom, cut it off here, and release this from the pipe, and then work on the opening or lip of the bowl for the final shape.
Now we got a hello from Jennifer in Brick, New Jersey. So she loves the live videos.
Glad to have you all here. Has Lori signed in yet?
It won't show me.
Lori was without power for like 6 days in Connecticut. So that's hung up there, and I'm going to go get another little bit of glass on the end of the rod. Again, this is called a punchy rod. And I'm getting a little bit of glass on the end. I'm going to shape it.
Jennifer said, keep it moving. Don't let gravity win.
Sometimes it does.
Mandu, I hope I'm saying that correctly, said, in all your years, how many times have you had an oops, that was stupid moment where you touched the glass?
I've touched the glass. I've had that. How many times? After the first bad one, you kind of hope you learn. I've only had really one bad one. I've had some stupid ones, but not really hospital ones. Only one.
Oh, that's good.
So that was a little bit of water on a vial, and creating a shock on that line that was the groove that I cut in, and it released it from the other pipe. Yeah, I would say one bad one. That was when I was in grad school. And one explosion when I was on my own.
An explosion?
We don't really want to talk about that. Yeah, so 2 hospital visits. But that's 42 years. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I'm winning.
I'm gonna want to hear about the explosion later, though.
I'm winning. Yeah, I can't publicize what the explosion was. For those of you who are ready to type that out, I will not divulge that. Okay?
That stays in the vault.
Yeah, I'm not putting that out in the whole internet thing. All I can say is, I would put the little disclaimer at the bottom, please do not try this at home.
Christy said, we want the explosion story, all caps.
Yeah.
And Amanda, who originally asked the question, said, I figured there had to be at least one story.
Yes. So now what I'm doing is make sure the lip is even and clean. I am trimming it. So Christy, the next time you're in New Orleans, you remind me and I will tell you the explosion story. By that time she'll forget and get shit right out.
I'd say I'd remind her, but my memory's probably worse. I'll forget by the time we go upstairs.
So I'm heating the whole piece up, and then I'm heating just the lip up because the bottom is pretty much the shape that I want. So the lip is what I'm concentrating the heat on because that's what I want to manipulate.
Christy said April. It's a date to find out the story.
Okay, Jazz Fest next year, or French Quarter Fest. So I'm using the jacks now on the inside. As I let them open, they're kind of like a spring steel. And as they open the lip of the piece.
Jennifer, sorry, go ahead.
I'm heating the lip of the piece and letting centrifugal force kind of open it on its own. Nice gradual, easy opening as I turn the piece. You see how the lip is starting to get wider? And as I come out, I hold it down, you'll see the lip has gotten wider. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it and push it. And I'll do that one more time with a heart. Jennifer said what?
Jennifer said, oh, I guess the explosion was that big of an oops.
Yes. So you see, they're called heart bowls because the opening is the shape of a heart. And so the pieces form. So we have one more step left, and that is to put it away in the oven. So I give it a nice flash in there, just to kind of even heat up a little bit on it. And then over here to the crack-off table. If I put the putty on correctly, it comes off very easily. If I put it on not so well, it will take the bottom out of the piece. This is just a oxy propane torch. and heating up and smoothing out the connection, which is a little rough. And there's your heart bowl. Okay, that is in a annealing oven, and what the annealing oven does, let me close the doors here. What the annealing oven does is it slowly cools the piece from working temperature, which is 1800, 1500, you know, in the high hundreds. This annealing oven is at 940 degrees, and what it does is it stabilizes the temperature across the whole piece, and then on a cool down, which will go about 16 hours, it'll go from 940 down to room temperature in that 16 hours, so that it relieves the stress in the piece. Anyway, Darcy, why don't we go back over here and show them these vases one more time.
All right.
Again, any of these vases are $100 each, and they range in size from the smallest one, which is the blue one in front, is 10.5 inches tall. The larger blue one in back is 12 inches tall, and the other ones are about 11-ish. And fit a nice little bouquet in them. And so we have 7 vases, and they'll be up. We'll show them again on Thursday. Unless they're sold, then we'll pull one off and put another one on. And hopefully you love them and we'll give them a nice home. Anyway, that's our Facebook Live for today. As always, if you can, support small businesses. Small businesses really need help right now. If you want to buy a gift or something from us, you know where to find us. It's www.rosetreegallery.com. On Facebook, we are Rosetree Blown Glass.
You really want to go over and show them, don't you?
No, that's all right. It's a lot of walking. And Instagram is Rosetree Glass Gallery. YouTube is Rosetree Blown Glass Studio and Gallery. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Love to see you here. Love talking with y'all. As always, be kind to one another. Love one another. We will see you here on Thursday. Take care.